With Doubtnut, get instant video solutions to all your maths, physics, chemistry, and biology doubts. Just click the image of the question, crop the question, and get instant video solution. Download Doubtnut app today.
Hello everyone, in Young's double slit experiment, two slits are at a distance d apart. The interference pattern is observed on a screen at a distance d from the slit. At a point on the screen, when it is directly opposite to one of the slit, the dark fringe is observed. When the wavelength of the wave is proportional to the square of the distance of the two slits. So in the statement 2 it is said that in Young's double slit experiment for identical slit, intensity of dark fringe is 0. So that we already know that for identical slit, right, for identical slit, intensity of dark fringe is 0, right? We already know this. It is intensity is equals to, if I talk about the minimum intensity, it is I1 under root I2 whole square. So if the I1 will be equals to I2, then certainly this the resultant intensity for the dark fringe will be 0. Now let's check for the 1. So if you see here, it is said that interference pattern is observed on a screen at a distance d from the slit at a point on the screen which is directly opposite to one of the slit. So if you see here, let's say this is the slit and this is the screen. So here there are two slits. We are talking about this point P, which is directly in front of the slit. So what will be the power difference? Right, if you see here, this is the distance between the two slit, and distance between the slit and screen is capital D, and distance between the two slit is small d. So if you see here the power difference you can get if I draw a perpendicular here, right? This will be the power difference, right? So you can also get this by using the Pythagoras and by subtracting them. So if you see here, if you see the path for the slit 1 and path for the slit 2, it is d and d dash, right? So if you see, you can use the Pythagoras to get the d dash, right? So we will write down d dash is equals to capital D square, right? So if I take this capital D square outside, it will be this d dash. So we know that for if you see this d is so small, right? So we can expand this by this binomial expansion that 1 plus x to the power n is 1 plus nx, right? We use this. We will ignore the higher power of x since it is the d by d is so small, so we will ignore the higher power. So we will write down d dash, and if you see here the power is half, so we'll write down. So this we got d dash. Now let's calculate the power difference. It is d dash minus d, right? So d dash minus d will be what? If you see, d dash is this. If you subtract this, subtract d from this, what you will have? So it will be d into d by 2 into d square by d square, right? This d will get cancelled out. So it is d square by 2d. Now if you see, the power difference is small d square by 2d, right? And it is said that dark fringe is observed when the wavelength of the wave is proportional to the square of the distance between the two slit. So wavelength of the wave is proportional to, right? Wavelength of the wave is proportional to, if you see, this is the power difference, and if I say that the power difference is equals to If you see, this is the part difference. It will be equals to, if I want the dark fringe, it will be, so this 2 will get cancelled out. And certainly, if you can see very clearly that yes, the wavelength is proportional to this. If I talk about the point directly in front of one of the slit, there the fringe will form, the dark fringe will form if this relation will be followed, and here the wavelength is proportional to this. So basically the statement 1 and statement 2 both are true, and you could see already the statement 2 is not being used to explain the statement 1, so B is the correct. Not a correct explanation for statement 1, but both are true. Thank you.
For class 6 to 12, IIT JEE and NEET level. Trusted by more than 5 crore students. Download Doubtnut app today.